Alright, thanks very much for clicking on the video. This is Gulpain, just back with a quick PSP review. And this one is Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade. And this one was developed by Sony Online Entertainment and published by Sony Online Entertainment. And it was released in 2005 in North America and Europe, and then it came out in Japan as well in 2006. So this one is a launch title for the PSP, so you can tell because it's quite rough around the edges, this one, and it's a very old-fashioned sort of a game. So I'm not sure when they launched the PSP, did they want like a few different styles of game, you know, to sort of cater to whatever audience, or to cater to like most of the audiences. So this one is like a really old kind of dungeon crawler. They're still making these sort of games at the moment, but this just reminds me of like Baldur's Gate or something, or well, Baldur's Gate for the PS2, not new Baldur's Gate or PC Baldur's Gate. So this one, you control a character, you can make up a character as well. There's a few different options. It's not obviously you wouldn't expect, you know, a huge array of choices when you're making up a character for a handheld. You know, you just expect like, you know, like a few different face types and a few different hair types, stuff like that, and a few different clothes. But there's a bit of a variety, and there's different sort of classes you can do as well. I found myself just sort of like running around attacking enemies and just like tapping the attack button, which I know this is what you do in these games anyway. But there's quite a lot of there's a bit of depth to the game as well, because you can pick up a lot of items. I know these games, these dungeon crawler games, I'm not really experienced with these, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what all of them are like. But in these sort of games that I've come across, you pick up quite a lot of items. So there's like, you know, there's weight and stuff, and then no room, you know, so you kind of get a lot of having to, you know, collect a lot of items, bring them to shops and sell them or discard them to pick up like different items, because you get quite overladen with items a lot. And this is one of those games where that happens, because there's loads of stuff to pick up. It's quite difficult to see some of the enemies sometimes, because the screens, they're either dark or bright in a lot of times, but the camera angle on this as well, I think it needs to be tilted slightly a little bit more, and I think it'll be easier to see, because you're kind of doing, it's like you're looking at their heads, but it's slightly tilted so you can see their bodies, and it looks kind of weird, because the way the floor is kind of straight. It's very difficult to describe, actually. It's kind of disorientating when you're playing it. But it is quite random the way you walk around, talk to random people, and then there's like, you know, a shitload of spiders right next to you. And then, you know, you can't turn around another corner and talk to someone else, and there's loads of enemies there. But yeah, pretty cool. Not a game I would spend a lot of time with, I don't think. Myself anyway. I seem to be just running around attacking things. It is pretty clear where to go as well, because I found a lot of these kind of dungeon crawler games in this similar vein quite mazy, so that was okay for a while, but you don't want to be spending, like, you know, loads of time kind of lost in a game. You kind of want to, you know, you really want to acclimate to these games really fast if you're going to hold your attention. So again, it's a launch title, so, you know, perhaps they didn't really they weren't really sure what type of games people wanted to have on the PSP. Judging from the PSP library, it's like PlayStation 2 style RPGs and like car racing games. But there's a lot of different types of a game on the PSP anyway. But yeah, this one, I'm not sure. Let me know if anyone's played it. There is a few of these as well. I think there's 2 Untold Legend games on the PSP. I could be wrong. It could be more. Those are just the ones that I've come across, because I bought them to see what they were like. They're very cheap as well. This was like £2, which is extremely cheap in United Kingdom, Republic of Ireland. So what would it be, like $3 something in America, something like that, or $2.50. So a very, very cheap game, and you get a lot of game. You get a lot of game for your pound, or for your buck, or for your euro, because there is quite a lot of content in it. It's quite a long game. But yeah, it's not really for me. There's too much. I don't know. It's too cluttered, or it's hard to explain. I don't like the aesthetic going on here. The enemies the colours of the enemies are too similar to the background, so even when they swarm up to you, it's kind of difficult to know what's a bit of the background, what's an enemy, because I don't know, they don't really there's not really a great variety at the start. They do later on, there is, but yeah, and they're quite hidden as well in the darkness. But the customization bit is pretty cool, and for a launch game, it's pretty good as well. So let me know what you think of Untold Legends in the comment section below, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Adios.